going to talk about minor blues. I've spoken about playing over a major blues, i.e. these kinds of chords. But there's another kind of blues which is really, really sweet, and it's favoured by certain people like Peter Green, Gary Moore, and other people like that, really like to make a meal of the minor blues. Now, many of you might know that essentially the major is happy, minor is sad. It's simple as this. Let's do A major. Quite bright, quite chirpy. Make it A minor by simply doing that. Suddenly it becomes a bit more sad, a bit more mournful. Play it in the open position. It's a sadder sound. Now, you can play a blues using the 3-chord idea, and instead of using major or 7th, we can use minor, so like this. A minor, up to D minor. It's already sounding sad, isn't it? So stay on that for a while. Going to change now, back up to D minor. Back down to A minor. Now E minor. D minor. That's the sequence. It's the same sequence of 3 chords. Instead of them being major or 7th, we've made it minor. Now, the soloing, all the things about choice of notes, or certainly dynamics, certainly question and answer or call and response, all these things still apply. The only major difference, sorry to use that word major, the only difference is the fact that there's a couple of notes that you don't really use in the minor. For instance, the obvious note that you don't use when playing minor is the major one, because we're in minor, not major. Now, if you play this note, which is the 3rd from A major, in fact, any major, B major, C major, whatever, it's going to sound horrible over this chord. It's wrong. You've changed the whole idea of it. You've changed it from this sad thing into something happy. But more than that, it's actually wrong for the chord. So we should keep away from that major 3rd note. But the minor 3rd, which is the one that's in the minor pentatonic scale, is absolutely fine. And it makes the A minor, or the minor blues, whatever key you're in, we're in A minor at the moment, it makes it a very safe blues to solo over, actually, because if you look at try and picture the chord, there's the chord, there's A minor. If I take that finger off, it becomes A minor 7th. It's a technicality, but it's still A minor. And if you put that finger on there, that's A minor 7th as well. Again, just different ways to slightly alter the chord that we're playing. So that it's still essentially an A minor chord. So A minor 7th. There's another way to play A minor 7th. If you look at that chord, the shape of it, the A minor pentatonic is right where the chord is. It's all these notes are in that chord. So essentially, any of those notes you can play over that A minor chord, or B minor if you're in B minor, C minor if you're in C minor, and so on. Of course, you can still bring to bear all your string bending, all those ideas, and of course, in some respects, string bending is going to sound sweeter in the minor because you're bending from very obvious strong, safe notes to other obvious, strong, safe notes. So, for instance, try and hold that sound of that chord in your head. So literally, I'm playing using the A minor pentatonic. All those notes. I'm just bending them. And vibrato. But just as with the major, you can add notes to the pentatonic to give a bit more spice to it. A couple of great notes to add. One is this one. That's a nice note to add. You can bend it up, that semitone. Slide down. That's the same note. An octave lower. And it's a lovely note to... You can actually land, this is one of those notes you can actually land on, make it sound quite nice. If you are... Santana would use that quite a lot. His version of Black Magic Woman, he lands on that note very, very strongly. If you know the piece, you'll know exactly where I mean. It's one of those things you don't want to do too much because it's a very strong sound and it's quite a strident kind of sound. And if you do it too much, people get sick of it a bit too soon. Use it occasionally and it will really spice your playing up. Another one you can play is this one. As you can hear, it's not the kind of note you want to land on and stay there for too long. It's a bit jarring against the chord, but it's a lovely passing note to go from that note to that note. Or to bend from there. Combine it with that. Lovely again to bend from that. What you'll find is when you change chord, when you change from the first chord to the second chord in your sequence, you've got to be careful what you play over that. You can play that. Play the note we just did, the sharp 5, because it's actually within the chord, you can hear. So you can actually target that note very strongly. You can target it strongly there. So you have to be a bit cautious. Somebody like Peter Green would often actually use that chord, which is like that. He'd target the top 3 notes like that. He would play perhaps... So you'd actually target the whole chord, so you could actually underline the chord very, very strongly. So you have to be a little bit careful with what you play, but again, that's down to you to find these things out. You really don't want to have everything on a plate. You find out the strong notes, you find out the weak notes. We'll tell you the guidelines, but you have to do some of the work yourself. It's very, very important to do that. I'll play a very slow, easy solo over in an imaginary A minor blues. And I'll do it sort of in the style of Peter Green. Now, Peter was the founder of Fleetwood Mac, a very brilliant guitarist. He's known for playing slow and melodically, but he could play a lot faster as well. But I'll play it in the style of Peter, and Peter would be very simple. He would choose usually minor pentatonic notes. He'd add the occasional one, the ones I've just shown you actually, mostly. Just to create a very, very beautiful sound. The other thing he'd do, he'd be very dynamic. He might play a lick, like... Then he'd play it again, or something like it, but quieter, sometimes so you can almost only just hear it. But it's a very great dynamic way of playing. And in fact, I would suggest that you get a backing track of a minor blues and use that to practice over for a while, because that really will help your dynamics. So here's the chord. So I didn't play anything particularly complicated there, but it does allow you to express things like vibrato, string bending. Playing the slowness of that kind of thing allows you to really milk things like...